Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first edition of the first regional edition of the ALPI podcast. ALPI is the Advanced Leadership and Politics Institute, and a network of young people involved in politics in their communities in Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in Montenegro. My name is Tucker Jones, and I'm a program officer with the International Republican Institute based out of Washington, D.C. I'm proud to have with me today three interviewees, all of whom are associated with ALPI either currently or as alumni. We have Amina Cikotić, we have Bojan Petrović, and we have Milan Vujić. I'd like to ask the panelists to introduce themselves. Amina, would you please go ahead?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Tucker. It's my pleasure to have the opportunity to talk with all of you and to meet all of you today. My name is Amina Cikotić. I am president of Social Democratic Youth of Montenegro and also a member of a main board of Social Democratic Party in Montenegro.
Thank you. Bojan, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello guys to everyone. My name is Bojan. I'm coming from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I was a member of first ALPI generation in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I have to say that I'm proud about it. And I'm a member of Croatian Democratic Union of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and currently working in Securities and Exchange Commission of Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I'm active in NGO sector also, and I have my own podcast. I'm a podcast host. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Milan, would you please introduce yourself?
Of course, thank you, Tucker. Hello, Amina. Hello, Bojan. Nice to see you today. My name is Milan Vujić. I am from Novi Sad, Serbia. I'm the final year law student, author, columnist, ambassador, European Democracy Youth Network, and I also participated in first ALPI generation here. And yeah, that's pretty much that.
Great, fantastic. And so, of course, the reason that all of you have joined ALPI is that all of you are involved in politics and your local communities, either as activists or within political parties or in some combination of the two. I guess my first question is, what can you tell me about for your first political memory or experience? How did you first think about politics as a kid? I guess, Amina, would you please go first?
Yes, thank you. So my first political memory and also experience was participating in a local SDP meeting at the municipality where I am from. I was just 17 years old, and I really didn't expect them to invite me to be there and also to listen what they wanted to tell us. They just wanted to talk with us, with young people from that municipality about upcoming activities, about local elections we had during that period there. That was amazing because I really felt important because of that, and I just remember that feeling because of that incredible feeling of belonging there, knowing that I am someone who always strives for change and also for teamwork. So that was something like my first political experience, and after that came all of that what I am right now. So that's for now.
That's great. It's great and unfortunately not common enough for political parties to reach out to young people. I'm sure we'll talk about that more in the future. Bojan, how about you? What do you recall as your first political experience, be it with a political party or otherwise?
it's a kind of difficult because politics is in my life the whole life because my father was politician. He was a major in local municipality and kind of I connected with the party with him and I mean how to say maybe I had I was 16 years old when I started to go to meetings because I'm also a guitarist and I play guitar and I was at some venues like a musician there, so it started like that. But I wanted to be a part of something, and the Croatian Democratic Union was the kind of that group of people which I wanted to be with them. So kind of like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Milan?
Oh yeah, so I've been interested from the politics since like I was a literally kid. I was playing football, and my coach and the other kids were calling me a philosopher because I was always trying to be the smart one, and I always asked the questions my father about the politics. Then during the high school, I was going to school by the bus, and every time while I was driving, I was uh, I was reading news, and then and that always got me frustrated every day. And then I had a few friends in school also, and we always talked about politics. Other kids were so bored about our talks, but yeah. And then later, when I turned 18, I joined the Liberal Opposition Party, but I left it really quickly. And the reason is that I think that parties are the most responsible for the defeat democracy in Serbia, and because parties themselves do not work and function in accordance to democratic values. So I continued being an independent activist and author later.
So I'll get back to Amina and Bojan on this question in a second, because you'll see. But Milan, are there other? I understand your frustration with political parties and especially with the state of political parties in Serbia. Are there other organizations or groups that you've been part of as part of a community or group political activism?
Oh yeah, so I work a lot with local and other journalists from Serbia and helping them understand some things on the local level here in Serbia or the cities close to Novi Sad. I started as author and columnist because actually my first article was that I was I was the main organizer of the protest uh, 2 years ago. It was January 2019, and I was speaker on the first protest there. But I even faced disagreements with the others who were helping me and mostly political parties about organizing that protest. And so my first article was me criticizing the vision of the others who works on that protest. So after that, I made my statement really clear, and journalists like that. And from now on, they're really often calling me on commenting some things on the political aspect. So yeah, and also work on the local level with some local activists on saving the parks, saving the trees, and everything that actually some um, providing help to the hospitals during the coronavirus situation in last year. And yeah, actually, I feels like it feels like you can do much more and feel useful when you work on the local level and when you do something and you actually you can see the results. So that's why I've been focused in the past.
Amina, you mentioned a few minutes ago how you got involved in party politics with the party that you're currently with because of their youth outreach years ago. Can you tell us more about your path toward deeper political involvement? How did you decide to join the party that you're with, and what have you been able to do in it by yourself, and of course with your fellow members and youth members of the party?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have to tell you that it all started with socializing. My old friends in that period started to join the Social Democratic Party because it was the party who had the most recognizable youth people with strong positive energy, and also they were so attractive to us. And when my old friends joined the SDP, that was the motive for me to also to join. Firstly, it was just about socializing, and also we did there a lot of campaigns and activities, so it was attractive for us. And in addition, we had parties offices there in that municipality where I am from. We had a TV and also PlayStation there, so we used that to gather there and to make tournaments, also movie nights, and to just to be together. After all of that, we started to think about politics, and also about the essence of what we were actually doing. We learned what social democracy is, and we just fell in love with social democracy. We wanted such a society, and that's why we stayed in favor of that idea. So everything started with that, with my friends and with socializing, and also a lot of education and trainings which Social Democratic Party organized in that period. So that was interesting for us. And after all of that, we started to think about politics in essence. So that's the first step, and after all, it came bigger. It gets bigger and more important for us.
That's fascinating. The social aspect of your political party involvement is, and the emphasis on that is really interesting. I mean, going back to what Bojan was saying, like you, it sounds like, Bojan, you got involved in the party that you're still a member of because of social and personal family ties there. But Bojan, in your case, you also mentioned that you separately run a local NGO, and you have a podcast associated with that NGO. Can you tell us what inspired you to start an NGO, and what can the NGO do that the party can't do, and vice versa? What can the party do that the NGO can't do? How do you see the roles of NGOs and political parties to be different?
A great question, because it for me it has like sense to have NGO to do some other things that are not connected directly to not connected to politics. Me and my friend are also member of HDZ, and he's also like a member of ALPI too from Bosnia and Herzegovina. We are colleagues and friends, and we created an NGO with a platform for creating opportunities for young people from our local community, because you cannot do concerts if you are like a party. You cannot have a young acting group of people to do some plays or dramas inside the political party. And we wanted to do something for our local community. It's kind of small town, and we also have now language school, and I don't know, it's how to say, it's kind of connected, but if you want to be active political party, it's not enough, because you cannot do everything with political party. It's how to say, I don't know, it's a platform for creating opportunities for young people. And also our podcast is called Podcast Uzor. Uzor, like some people who want to be like that. So, and we are trying to promote through podcast young people or people who doing some good things for their or our local community.
That's fantastic. I think it's important that you brought up that NGOs and political parties can play complementary roles. They don't have the same job, but they both have important roles. I guess I'll go to some of the downsides. So going back to what Milan was saying, Milan, you talked briefly about your previous involvement with a political party and your eventual departure from that party. Can you tell us a little bit more about your hopes for why you joined the party and what factors led to you leaving?
Can you please repeat question, because my connections were unstable for a moment.
No worries. Milan, you were saying a second ago that how you had previously joined a political party in Serbia and that you had left it due to the frustrations that you and many Serbians feel toward political parties in Serbia. Could you talk a little more specifically about what you hoped to do and what you hoped to get out of joining a political party, and what factors led to you leaving that political party?
Oh yeah, of course. First of the reasons I feel like that in order for democracy to exist in society, in the country, it has to begin on the micro level. And when I say micro level, I mean political parties. And I do not want to be when I am joining political party, I don't want to be employed in a private company, but I want to be a member of a political party with a vision, with the politics. And I don't want to one man decide what's going to happen with that party, or what we gonna do. And I say we, others member. So that's the reason why I left that political party. And when I when I looked for a second to the other parties, I was like, this is not the only one. I feel like all the others are working on the same level, having one man who rule all of them, and I don't want to be a member of it. So as I said, I continued working as an independent activist, and I'm really happy with that, because I really find the people who share my values, who maybe not working on the same thing, but we have ideals, and we are not giving up them, no matter on what kind of activism we are focused on. So now I'm working with UCOM, with Belgrade Center for Security Policy, and there is a lot of organizations who are really trying to bring something great to this society, and they're not the political parties. And actually, only NGOs, in my perspective, the NGOs are saving political life right now in Serbia with their work.
Yeah, I mean, Milan, what you just touched on is unfortunately, as you know well, unfortunately common in Serbia, that many of the political parties lack what I would describe as internal democracy. That they may be running in democratic elections, but internally it is a top-down structure. And I mean, it's frustrating because, as you said, it makes enthusiastic and highly qualified young people like you want to leave political parties. I'm glad that hasn't been the case in Amina and Bojan's experience as much. Amina, I know that you've risen to a fairly high level within your political party. What are some things that you've been able to do within your political party that you're proud of having achieved?
So there are so many things that I'm really proud of that my party did and also our youth organization did. So I have to mention that Social Democratic Party has gained all their program goals. So that's something that's something that we are really proud of. When I say that, I mean that we did a lot of big things for our country. So that's, for example, Social Democratic Party was a member of a ruling coalition in that moment when Montenegro has gained her independence. That was in 2006, and that is something that I am really proud of. Also, thanks to our votes, Montenegro became a member of NATO also. And our ex-president of the Social Democratic Party and also ex-president of Parliament of Montenegro, Ranko Krivokapić, wrote the constitution of Montenegro in 2007. And that's something that is so big thing to talk about. Also, we had some historical things to be proud of. For example, we had that was the first time in history of Montenegro that we had a woman as a presidential candidate on the presidential elections here. That was Draginja Vuksanović, who after that became a president of Social Democratic Party. That was a huge move here in Montenegro, and that was something that happened in the first time in the history of Montenegro. Also, I am really proud of that we work as a team. It is not the situation the same like Milan said that he was disappointed about, but we really work as a team, and we work in the spirit of the community and also common good. So those are the some of things that I am really proud about, but there are so many things that I can talk about. So
how about, remind me, your current role is the head of the youth section of the SDP?
Yes, Social Democratic Youth.
How about in your role as the head of the Social Democratic Youth? What have you been able to do there, or what have you what have the members of the youth wing been able to do that you've been proud of?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First of all, we have a really strong influence into our party. We are independent organization within the party, so our voice must be heard. So that's something that really helps us to realize all our ideas and all our activities. That's first of all. After that, we as a Social Democratic Youth have a power to make a lot of initiatives, also to speak loud about the problems of a youth here in Montenegro, and also to make some, like I said, initiatives to our government, and that has how can I say it in English, a much bigger volume when you do it in front of some political organization than when you do in front of NGO. So that's maybe the one of the things that we can tell that is better when you do with political party than to do with NGO. So yeah, that's it.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that within your party, the youth wing is so influential.
Yeah.
Bojan, in your involvement with HGZ, Bosnia and Herzegovina, can you tell us about some of the things that you've been proud to achieve, either at the local level or among young people, or at the federation or national level?
Actually, I'm very proud of the little things we achieve in everyday actions like cleaning the park or restoring the monument. I cannot say that we don't do some big things, but the small things are, how to say, on the local level you can see it, that small things, and the common people can feel some change. But if you are talking at the local level to the people about some national constitution thing and the others, it's kind of not working. But because of the, how to say, internal uh, construction of Bosnia and Herzegovina, I'm mainly active on the cantonal level. It's kind of region, maybe you know everyone. So my work is on that level, and I can say that the small things are the most important, because the power distance to the uh, government level is very big. So only the top party leaders are doing work on that topics. But really, I'm proud of the small things, and if we go to the meeting and make agreement about something to do, and we do it, it is the best feeling. So, and if we working on the elections, it's also like, um, I can say that the main goal of the party is to win at the election, so it's all connected to that. So because of that,
Absolutely.
I'm not, I would say, I have my part of me in the politics and part of me in the NGO sector, because it's working together. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Boyan, you bring up a really good point, which is that the issues that motivate most people to vote are the issues that they see on a day-to-day basis. That makes sense that of why your party emphasizes going out and cleaning the parks, for example.
Yeah.
Um, on that note, one of the challenges that all the countries that you are residing in face is the involvement of young people in politics. Um, Boyan, if you wouldn't mind answering first, what do you see as the major challenges, political, social, or otherwise, that young people in your community face?
Uh, it's economy, of course, and how to say, the Western Europe is close to us, and we can easily go there. And the people want to go because here is not, how to say, not good place, or it's not good enough for the people to stay here. I have a lot of friends who went to, for example, Germany, Austria. My brother went there to study and stay there, have family there. So uh, it's kind of the thing that I don't know how to resolve, because it's not easy to compete with developed countries like Germany and Austria, even in Croatia, because I'm Croat, and Croatians have a Croatian passport and can go to European Union where everywhere where they want to go. So it's a difficult question, but we have to work on economy and the climate, how to say, of everything, so that people feel good in their countries. It's a long way to create that, but we have to try to do that, because because in the future it's not good future for young people in this situation here. So we need to do everything to stop people to go, but not to forbid them to go, but to create better environment for everyone, even for older people and everything. I think that it's not just economy; it's like a general climate of living in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it makes sense. The challenge is how to make people want to stay.
Yeah.
Amina, is that Sorry if there's background noise. Amina, is that a challenge that you see also in your experience in politics in Montenegro? And what are, in addition to youth leaving the country, what other major challenges do you think that young people face in your community?
I think that the answer on this question is the similar, also from all three countries we came from. I think the Western Balkans has really a small range of possibilities for their young people. Here in Montenegro, we have a really big problem with unemployment of young people, and also for not having a chance and unequal chances for employment also. So that is a really big problem, because of which a lot of young people leave Montenegro and go to the rest of the Europe to take another chance and to find a job and to grow with their families. So also we have here in Montenegro uncompetitive education also. So it's really hard to find a job, because you have a lot of economists, you have a lot of students who finish the law, and it's unattractive for us, because we cannot find a chance to find a job. What is the also problem? It's political discrimination because of political affiliation. You know, when you want to find a job, first question they ask you is which party do you belong to? So that's a really big problem, and I don't know how we will solve that, because it's the practice 30 years here in Montenegro, so it's really hard to pass by.
Yes, that's unfortunately a problem that many democratic societies have gone through at various points. I know even in the United States, it's a couple generations back now, but my grandfather, when he was first looking for jobs, faced discrimination trying to get a job at the local sewer company because he wasn't signed up with the majority party there. It is a big challenge, but it's not one that's unique to Montenegro. It's frustrating, but it's a challenge that all democracies face, and I'm sorry that you and your fellow young people there are having to face it as well.
I would just add to this topic that I work for a private company. It's foreign company, and youth in Montenegro have a chance to find a job with foreign employers. So it's easier to find a job for foreign employers than to find a job here for our local employers. So I don't know how to solve that at the moment, because it's hard. Yeah.
It's absolutely, it's a tough and complicated problem. So this brings me to one of the other sadder topics that I wanted to talk about, which is the negative consequences or downsides of political involvement that you may have faced. Milan, I think you probably have some thoughts on this in particular. Can you speak a little bit about some of the negative consequences you face due to your political activism?
Wait a second. I don't think we have enough time for that.
In 3 minutes if you can, but I know that's a challenge.
Yeah, so I remember it was 4 years ago, and it was a protest of I think police officers were protesting in Belgrade, and at the same time it was presidential campaign, which I was supporting Saša Janković, and I was there on that protest, and we got some pictures of the politicians, like, you know, like the pictures, his face, and wanted is written next to him, like he has to go to the prison. And after that, immediately after that, somebody took a shot, took a picture of me, and program media declared me as a Soros NATO mercenary. And yeah, it was I was like 19 or 18, I don't remember, and it was funny, you know. I'm Soros mercenary. But later on, when I continued my work, when I started writing articles, I faced really a lot of threats on the social media. But during the protest, I was also, some people called me and was writing me a messages threatening me. Once it was like, talk less or we are going to cut off your tongue, something I remember. It was a phone call. So and you know, I never felt like this is a real threat. You know, actually, I you know, it just some idiot probably who thinks that that's something what he has to do. Then later on, those threats continue, but mostly on social media. Like, for example, in the comments of some tweet that most of people in Serbia is unacceptable. Then there is a lot of tweet comments on that, but it's just people who are not even brave enough to write their name and surname on Twitter, but they are brave enough to threaten me. But it happened the last year. This period of time, it was Novi Sad were preparing for the elections, and there was a party who was they were declared themselves as a political party of national minorities, and there was not a single member of that party who is also member of that minority community. You know, and then I was making fun of that because they are declaring themselves as someone, and they are not even that, only because it's the easier way to join local offices. And I was making fun of that like May last year, and in August, one of the members from that party, which is also majority in Novi Sad right now, they're in power. I was going back home with bicycle, and then the guy just stopped me with a car like in movies, and I was like, and even that, I remember, I was, because I knew that guy from high school. I was like, okay, this guy is making some fun again. I don't know. And he came to me. He asked me, why did I make fun of them or something like that. I was like, what are you talking about? Because it was May. I forgot about it literally, but he's not forgetting that easily. So he punched me and he broke a few bones in my face. Then again, after that, I faced threats, and again I faced a physical attack. Then a few weeks ago, police arrested me at home, and it's just, I don't know how to explain that. I'm still going to continue my work because I don't want to be explicit here, but it's just who I am, and I think the only thing they can do is showing on my case what other young people will go through if they raise their voices. I'm not going to stop doing that, but probably young people who are watching what's happening are like, come on, just when I every time I go to the university, and some people ask me about politics, the others are like, psst, quiet, somebody's gonna hurt us. It just, people are scared. People are scared even to talk about politics on the street because the atmosphere in Serbia. But it's going to change. The most important thing, that political parties from the opposition show some power, show some protection to the others, because the only one who can protect us here are media or NGOs. And it's really rough times here in Serbia, knowing all that. But democracy is not easy to bring back to life, especially when you got authoritarian leaders like Serbia has.
Well, Milan, I mean, I've heard parts of this story before, but I didn't realize that how long the harassment and attacks against you for your political activity have been going on. Uh, well, not to be anticlimactic, but Boyan, I hope you haven't faced anything close to what Milan has gone through. I understand that the political climate in Bosnia, and I hope in the canton of the town that you live in, is a bit more open. Have you or any of your friends ever faced any downsides or negative experiences, even if it's less egregious than what Milan has gone through? Any negative experiences based on your political activity?
No, that I know. It's not a situation like Milan explained. It's just for me, maybe it's the main problem is kind of stereotype you people challenge who are member of some party. I who knows me better personally knows that I'm joking with stereotypes and use that humor sometimes, but I don't like stereotypes because it's not how to say it's not true. Not good to have a stereotype if you don't know some people or group of people. But I know that how to say I was and I am victim of stereotyping, or how to say other people to me because I'm a member of HDZ, especially in the situations because we have the three nationalities in my country, and all Croatian population now uh, is in HDZ or in the line with politics, which represents Croatian National Assembly, but from a lot of people from other parties, my colleagues also, from, for example, Bosniak people have some stereotype about me that I'm kind of probably extremist or something, but the people, it's just people don't know each other very well. So I think the the how to say the meetings like ALPI and programs like ALPI are the best thing to create a better society and create some better atmosphere between young people to not be stereotyped or how to say uh, on that on that topic. It's good to have these programs, and uh, that is all. I don't have bad experience in this political life like that.
Yeah, that actually is a great point. And thanks for bringing up your involvement in ALPI and how it's helped you, especially meeting people from these other political and, in the case of Bosnia, ethnic or national communities. Um, the on that note, and I apologize because I didn't send you guys this question, but on that note, um, Boyan, is there anything else that you think that ALPI has been able to help you with? Have you been, aside from just meeting people from these other parts of Bosnia and these other political orientations, um, what has your participation in ALPI done for you?
uh, I can say that I developed myself in a better way, and working together with people from Alpi and the team from RAI from Sarajevo was a great experience, and they created for us a good platform to develop our personal skills. And I think that uh, be a part of Alpi motivated me to do some other things like podcast and everything, because how to say, they gave me a bit push to do some things. It's like easy easy wind in the back to do something in your local communities. And so in it created for me how to say, opportunities, and besides the meeting of new people. So it's a very great program, and I can say that from the first hand.
I'm glad that you found it useful.
Yeah.
Going to Amina, have you been able to do new things because of your participation in ALPI, especially about the issues that young people face in Montenegro?
Yeah, ALPI also helped me to make my connections with people from another political parties here in Montenegro. That was a great opportunity to connect all of us and to make some together politics, if I can say like that. So in that sense, like Milan told, ALPI inspired me to think more about the common politics or policies about young people here in Montenegro, and also it was inspiring to talk with my with member of SDP youth about growing our organization, and also about their participation in ALPI program in the next generations. So in that sense, we made some new ideas how to make some new campaigns here in Montenegro, and soon you will see we will make a new campaign about nationalism here in Montenegro, and you will see that maybe some aspects of ALPI program should be included in that. So follow us and you will see that we will do really, really good thing.
I'm glad to hear about that. And then Milan, you're currently a member of the current ALPI generation in Serbia, which has done a number of things, including starting this podcast that we're all appearing on right now. I believe this was an idea that you and your colleagues had of what to do with the ALPI group. And Milan, as you mentioned, some of your experience with members of other political parties in Serbia has not been very productive or polite. I hope that your interactions with other members of political parties in ALPI have been much more positive. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, first of all, ALPI helped me realize that not all politicians in Serbia are the bad ones. Actually, the first generation of ALPI showed me that there's really good young people willing to work on better for this society. So in the situation which Serbia face now, that people are not able to talk about politics, as I mentioned before, it was really important for us to show on somehow that no matter from which party we are, no matter what our ideology is, we should talk to each other. We should discuss the topics that are relevant to our society. So yeah, that's how, you know, and that's how democracy is building, you know. So that's how we decided to start that podcast, and I think it's going really well. And I'd like to for next generations of ALPI, and I hope it's going to be a lot of them, to continue that way, to this. So in the future, and in 5 years from now, I have chance to discuss with 5-year younger ALPI member on some topic, and I think it would be really great. So let's build a dialogue, let's build democratic values. If we cannot build them in the political parties right now, we definitely has to find a way to build it the other way.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that it's been a productive experience for all of you. I know we're running short on time, so I'd like to just touch on one last topic that has been affecting all of our lives for over the past year, which is the COVID-19 pandemic. Obviously, we would have preferred to do this sort of thing in person if it were safe to do so. So the very fact that we're all sitting here looking at our computer screens is a testament to how much this pandemic has affected our lives. But I wanted to talk more about how the pandemic has been affecting, in your experience, politics in your community, and especially young people in your community. I think, Milan, I think you're the only person who's still studying right now. But I imagine that it's particularly tough times for university and especially high school and elementary school students. Can you talk to us a little bit about how COVID-19 has impacted politics and or young people in Serbia?
To be honest with you, I'm not the type of person who goes at the university, even if that's not a COVID situation, because I don't feel comfortable there because of some other issues, mostly of my activism. But yeah, education in Serbia, I wished I said that before, that Serbia invests minimum in culture and education, and only part of that minimum goes to innovations. And when we got the situation like that, and when Serbia is not investing in their future, we cannot expect from young people nothing more than that. So especially in the during the coronavirus, I think that educated system was not adapted very well to the situation, and especially on the youngest ones, because for example, my brother, his primary school, and and I felt like sometimes that my mother and father don't know should they laugh or cry, because it it's literally so weird. And when you're a kid, when you want to go outside, and the only period you're outside is the period when you're not on the computer, and he literally had to be on the computer all day, because uh, some of his professor was going to send him something to do, and when it's sent, he has to be home. So it was so weird. It's still weird. I cannot imagine how it is for a kid that just started going to school, first year going to school, and then you're sitting by the computer all the time, and it is what it is. Sitting on a computer in that situation, it is what it is. But the way that it was organized was really, really, really bad, and especially when we talk about students, it's not like it's not the same when you're going to the university, and you're studying via Zoom. But at least you can try bringing that on the highest level so it can be productive. But now in Serbia, it was not the case, in my opinion, in my experience.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it's like being an elementary schooler or an elementary school teacher and trying to teach remotely during this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for the kids. Example, nobody's mentioning that in Serbia policy. What about the kids who doesn't have a computer or internet? What about them? Who thinks about them? It's just when it comes to that, I just feel really sad about the situation here in Serbia.
Absolutely, yeah. Bojan, how about you? How has the COVID-19 pandemic impacted young people and politics in your community?
At the first, it was like shocking for everyone, and after that, after the first, how to say, wave of the lockdown, everything was starting to be normal, I can say, because my local community did not have how to say big problems because of COVID in the first and after the second lockdown, and even now in the third wave of the virus, we have now a lot of death in my local community, and people are now aware of the problem, but I have a lot of friends who are teachers in schools. They had kind of problems at the first lockdown, because Milan said that problems with computers, internet. A lot of people are living in rural areas, and it's not they don't have computers, and the cantonal government tried to do something with that, but they overcome this problem with continuing to go to offline teaching, because children are going to school in my canton all the time, and just the time of the school hour is a bit shorter, so that was the measure to do with education. But the students are at university are doing the online work, but the politics did not change a lot, because of we had a local election and everything was almost normal. I can say it didn't feel that anything is happening. Just people wear the mask and everything was normal. And for me, it was not some kind of usual situation, but it was kind of like that.
All right. Well, thank you both. And in fact, thank you, Amina, as well, who I think dropped off due to internet issues, which illustrates the point of that you two were just making, the challenges of relying on the internet for all of your social and educational activities. It means that you can be at the whim of internet cutouts or due to weather or otherwise. But thank you to both of you and to Amina for joining me on this first ever regional episode of the ALPI podcast. I hope that you found it useful and had a good conversation, and I hope that our listeners found it enlightening as well. And I hope that our listeners tune into our next podcast as well.
I gotta tell you, Tucker, you're one of the best moderator ever.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Honestly,
Thanks so much.
And thank you, Tucker. Really.
Thanks so much.